In the world of wealth and luxury, the Anderson family was known as one of the most respected millionaire families in the city. They had everything people dreamed of: a huge mansion, a successful company, luxury cars, and a family name that everyone admired. But behind those golden walls was a secret pain that nobody knew. The Anderson family had two daughters. The older daughter, Victoria, was born with everything she wanted. From childhood, she was given love, attention, and every opportunity. But there was one thing she always wanted more than anything: to be the only child her parents loved. Years later, when her younger sister Lily was born, everything changed. Lily was different. She was kind. She was gentle. She cared about everyone around her. Even as a little girl, she would share her toys with other children and help anyone who was sad. Everyone loved Lily. Her parents admired her beautiful heart. The servants in the house adored her. Even relatives always praised her kindness. But for Victoria, every compliment Lily received felt like a wound. Every smile her parents gave Lily felt like something stolen from her. Deep inside her heart, jealousy started growing. Why does everyone love her more than me? Victoria would think. Instead of seeing Lily as a sister, she started seeing her as a rival who had taken her place. As the years passed, Lily became the daughter everyone was proud of. She helped her parents. She respected the family. She worked hard, but Victoria became more angry and bitter. She refused to accept responsibility for anything. Whenever something went wrong, she blamed Lily. If something broke in the house, Lily did it. If their parents were upset, it's because Lily caused problems. Slowly, Victoria became an expert at pretending. In front of her parents, she acted innocent. But when nobody was watching, her hatred came out. She would destroy Lily's belongings. She would hurt her feelings. She would make her cry. And every time Lily tried to tell the truth, Victoria would turn the situation against her. "I can't believe you are accusing your own sister," their parents would say. Lily would stand there silently with tears in her eyes. Because she loved her sister. She never imagined that someone she loved could hate her so deeply. Years passed. The two sisters became adults. Lily grew into a beautiful and kind young woman. She was still humble despite her family's wealth. But Victoria became more jealous than ever. One day, their parents announced something unexpected. They wanted Lily to become involved in the family company because they believed she had the heart and responsibility to lead. Victoria heard those words, and something inside her broke. She couldn't accept it. She thought, "Everything should belong to me. She has taken everything from me since childhood." That night, Victoria made a decision that would destroy two lives forever. She decided that if she couldn't defeat Lily, she would remove her from her life completely. A few days later, Victoria convinced Lily to go with her on a trip outside the city. Lily had no idea that the person she trusted the most was planning to betray her. They arrived at a quiet place far away from everyone. Lily smiled. "Thank you for bringing me here, Victoria. I feel like we finally became close again." Victoria looked at her sister, but there was no love in her eyes. Only jealousy, only anger, and only hatred. That day, a terrible secret began. A secret that would remain hidden for 20 years. And nobody knew that the little sister everyone thought was gone forever was actually still alive. Victoria's decision that night was not just a mistake. It was a secret that would destroy an entire family for 20 years. On that lonely road, Lily had no idea what was happening. She still believed her sister had changed. She believed that after all these years, maybe Victoria finally wanted to rebuild their relationship. Maybe the hatred was gone. Maybe they could finally become sisters again. But Lily didn't know the truth. The person she trusted the most was the person who wanted to erase her forever. Victoria stood there with anger burning in her eyes. All the jealousy she had carried since childhood had finally taken control. "You always had everything," Victoria said coldly. "Everyone loved you. Everyone chose you." Lily looked at her sister in confusion. "Victoria, what are you saying?" But Victoria was no longer listening. Years of jealousy had turned into hatred, and in one terrible moment, she pushed her own sister away. Lily fell to the ground. Her head hit a hard surface. Everything became silent. Her eyes slowly closed. For a few seconds, Victoria stood there frozen. She looked at her sister lying on the ground. A small part of her heart realized what she had done. But fear was stronger than regret. She thought about her parents. She thought about the company. She thought about losing everything. And instead of admitting the truth, she made the worst decision of her life. She decided to hide what happened. Victoria arranged everything to make it look like a tragic accident. She returned home with tears in her eyes. When her parents saw her alone, they immediately became worried. "Where is Lily?" Victoria started crying. "We were attacked on the way back. I tried to save her, but I couldn't." The entire family was destroyed. Lily's parents searched everywhere. They contacted the police. They visited hospitals. They put up missing posters. They spent every day hoping for one miracle, that their daughter would come home. But Lily was gone. At least that was what everyone believed. Every year on Lily's birthday, her mother bought a gift. She placed it carefully in a room full of memories. And every year she whispered, "My daughter will come back one day. I know she will." But Victoria, she continued living with the secret. In front of everyone, she acted like a grieving sister. But deep inside, she felt relieved. The person she saw as her biggest enemy was finally gone. Far away from the Anderson family, a completely different story was beginning. A man named Ethan was driving on a quiet road when he noticed someone lying on the side. He immediately stopped his car. A young woman was there. She was injured and unconscious. "Miss, can you hear me?" There was no response. Ethan quickly called for help and rushed her to the hospital. After several hours, the doctor finally came outside. "She is alive." Ethan felt relieved. "But there is a problem." "What problem?" Ethan asked. The doctor looked serious. The injury affected her memory. Ethan was confused. "Are you saying she doesn't remember anything?" The doctor nodded. She may not remember her name, her family, or anything about her past. The woman had become someone without a history, without an identity, without anyone searching for her. When the hospital tried to find information about her, they discovered nothing. It was as if she had disappeared from the world. Months passed. The woman slowly recovered, but her memories never returned. The doctors asked her, "Do you remember anything?" She closed her eyes and tried, but there was nothing. No childhood memories, no family, no past, only emptiness. Ethan continued visiting her. Even though she was a stranger, he felt responsible for her. He helped her start a new life. The woman chose a new name. Lily. She didn't know that it was her real name. She didn't know that somewhere in the world, a family had been crying for her for 20 years. She didn't know that the sister who betrayed her was still hiding the truth. Over time, Ethan discovered something special about her. Despite losing everything, Lily was still kind. She helped others. She cared about people. She smiled even after everything she had suffered. And slowly, Ethan fell in love with her. Years later, they got married. They built a small but happy home. They had a beautiful daughter. For the first time in years, Lily felt safe. She had a loving husband, a precious child, a peaceful life. But there was one thing missing: her past. The answers she never had. The truth she never knew. 20 years passed. Back at the Anderson mansion, Lily's mother still followed the same tradition. Every year on her missing daughter's birthday, she bought a gift. She kept it safely, waiting for the day Lily would return. Meanwhile, Victoria had everything she wanted: money, power, the family business. But she could never escape one thing: the secret buried inside her heart. Then one day, a single meeting would bring the past and present together. A meeting that would reveal the sister she thought was gone forever was actually alive, and the truth Victoria had hidden for 20 years was about to destroy her entire world. For 20 years, Victoria believed she had buried the biggest mistake of her life. She believed Lily was gone forever. She believed nobody would ever discover the truth. And most importantly, she believed she had finally won. The Anderson family company was now successful, and Victoria had everything she once wanted: money, status, power. But there was one thing she never received: the love her parents had once given Lily. Her mother still kept Lily's memories alive. Every year on her missing daughter's birthday, she bought a gift and placed it in a special room. Victoria hated that room. She hated those pictures. She hated seeing that her parents still loved someone who was supposed to be gone. Deep inside, she still felt the same jealousy she had carried since childhood. Then one day, everything changed. Victoria attended a business event where she met a man named Ethan. The moment she saw him, she was impressed. He was kind, successful, respectful, different from the people she usually met. Unlike others who cared only about money, Ethan cared about people. Victoria became curious about him. She wanted to know more. She started finding excuses to meet him. She thought, maybe this is the person who can finally make me happy. But Victoria didn't know. Ethan was already married. One evening, while attending a charity event, Victoria saw Ethan again. But this time, he was not alone. A woman was standing beside him. A woman holding his hand. A woman smiling warmly. Victoria froze, because that woman looked strangely familiar. Her heart started beating faster. She whispered, "No, it can't be." She watched as Ethan introduced his wife. "This is my wife, Lily." The name hit Victoria like a shock. Lily. The same name. The same gentle smile. The same kind eyes. Victoria stared at her. For a moment, she couldn't breathe. Then she noticed something. A small mark on Lily's back near her shoulder. A birthmark. A mark Victoria remembered from childhood. A mark she had seen countless times when they were little girls. Her hands started shaking. Because she knew the truth. The woman standing in front of her was not a stranger. She was the sister she thought she had destroyed. Lily. Alive. After 20 years. Victoria left the event in shock. Her mind was full of memories. The night she left Lily. The lie she told her parents. The secret she carried for 2 decades. Everything came back. For the first time in 20 years, Victoria felt fear. Not jealousy. Not anger. Fear. Because Lily was back. And this time, she had a family. She had a husband. She had a daughter. And soon everyone would know the truth. Meanwhile, Lily had no idea who Victoria really was. She only felt a strange connection. Whenever she saw Victoria, she felt uncomfortable. Like her heart recognized something her mind couldn't remember. One night, Lily had a dream. A memory. She saw 2 little girls playing together. She saw a mansion. She saw a woman crying. Then suddenly, she saw Victoria's angry face. Lily woke up frightened. Her husband, Ethan, immediately asked, "Are you okay?" Lily touched her head. "I don't know. I feel like something from my past is trying to come back." Ethan held her hand. "Maybe one day you will remember everything." And he was right. Because the past was already coming back. A few weeks later, the Anderson family attended a birthday celebration. It was Lily's daughter's birthday. The same day was also the anniversary of Ethan and Lily's marriage. Everyone was happy. Everyone was celebrating. But Victoria arrived with another plan. She couldn't accept that Lily had returned. She couldn't accept that the sister she betrayed was happier than her. The jealousy inside her became dangerous again. She thought, if Lily disappears again, everything will go back to normal. But this time, Victoria made one mistake. She underestimated the power of truth. During the celebration, Victoria tried to create an accident that would hurt Lily's daughter. But before she could succeed, someone saw everything. And that person was the last person Victoria expected. Her own mother. Her mother looked at Victoria with tears and disbelief. "Victoria, what are you doing?" For the first time, Victoria had no lie. No excuse. No story. The truth was standing in front of her. The secret she protected for 20 years was finally breaking apart. Then Lily walked into the room. She looked at Victoria. And suddenly, a memory came back. A painful memory. A memory of that night. The road. The fall. The betrayal. Her sister's face. Lily held her head as tears filled her eyes. "My sister." Everyone became silent. Victoria stepped back. Because she knew the truth had finally returned. The room became completely silent. Everyone was looking at Lily. The woman who had returned after 20 years. The daughter everyone thought was lost forever. Lily stood there with tears running down her face. Her mind was filled with broken pieces of memories. A little girl. A beautiful mansion. Her mother's loving voice. Her sister's angry eyes. And then, that terrible night. The night everything changed. She looked at Victoria with fear and sadness. "You..." Her voice trembled. "You were there that night." Victoria's face turned pale. For 20 years, she had imagined this moment. But she never imagined how painful it would feel. Lily slowly remembered everything. The argument. The betrayal. The fall. The pain. And the moment she realized that the person hurting her was her own sister, everyone looked at Victoria. Her mother stepped forward. "Victoria, tell me this is not true." But Victoria remained silent. And sometimes, silence reveals the truth better than words. Her mother started crying. My daughter, how could you? Victoria finally broke down. I was tired of being second. Everyone looked shocked. Victoria continued through tears. Since childhood, everyone loved Lily. Everyone praised her. She was the perfect daughter. The kind daughter. The daughter everyone wanted. But nobody saw me. Her mother shook her head. That is not true. You had everything, Victoria. We gave you love. We gave you everything. But you never wanted love. You wanted to destroy the person who had it. Those words broke Victoria. Because deep inside, she knew her mother was right. Lily looked at Victoria. Everyone expected anger. Everyone expected revenge. But Lily did something nobody expected. She walked toward her sister. Victoria looked confused. Why? Why aren't you screaming at me? Why aren't you telling everyone how horrible I am? Lily looked at her with tears in her eyes. Because I know what hatred does to a person. Victoria looked down. Lily continued. For 20 years you lived with anger. You lost your happiness because you couldn't accept someone else's happiness. You destroyed my life. But you also destroyed your own. Victoria started crying. For the first time, she understood what she had become. Then Lily's mother walked toward her. She touched Lily's face. My baby. Those were the words Lily had waited her entire life to hear. Her mother hugged her tightly. A hug that lasted 20 years. A hug filled with pain, regret, and love. I searched for you every day. Every birthday I bought you a gift. I always believed you would come back. Lily cried in her mother's arms. I don't remember everything, but I always felt like someone was missing. Her mother smiled through tears. Because a mother's heart always knows. Days later, the Anderson family made an important decision. The company shares that were meant for Lily were officially transferred to her name. But Lily surprised everyone. She did not use her power to punish Victoria. Instead, she created a foundation to help abandoned children and families who had lost their loved ones. When people asked her why she didn't take revenge, she simply said, because revenge keeps you connected to your pain. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means refusing to let someone else's darkness destroy your heart. Victoria's life changed completely. She lost the respect she once had. She lost the power she had built on lies. But the biggest punishment was not losing money. It was finally understanding what she had done. The sister she tried to erase was the same person who chose to forgive her. Months later, Victoria faced another tragedy. Because of her anger and guilt, she pushed herself too far. One night, while driving recklessly after another emotional breakdown, she lost control of her car. The accident left her with serious injuries. She survived, but she lost the ability to walk normally. The woman who spent her life trying to stand above everyone was now forced to depend on others. When Lily heard the news, she visited her. Everyone was surprised. Why would you go to her after everything she did? Lily answered, because I don't want to become like her. I choose kindness. Victoria cried when she saw Lily. I don't deserve your forgiveness. Lily held her hand. Maybe you don't. But everyone deserves a chance to change. Years later, the Anderson family was no longer remembered because of their wealth. They were remembered because of their story. A story about two sisters, one who was destroyed by jealousy, and one who survived because of kindness. Victoria learned the hardest lesson of her life. Jealousy destroys the person who carries it. Love creates what hatred can never build. And Lily learned something too. Forgiveness is not a gift for the person who hurt you. It is a gift you give yourself so you can finally live in peace. Because sometimes, the biggest victory is not making someone regret hurting you. The biggest victory is keeping your heart good even after someone tried to break it.